Hi, this is Dana, and this is my Christmas video. I will talk a little bit. I chose basically on Christmas. It's not only I chose today, but in general on Christmas always for me, uh, as opposed to many others. Christmas is a lot about Virgin Mary. I know that everybody thinks about Jesus on Christmas. I do as well, but for me, um, Virgin Mary is more of a pregnant presence on Christmas because on Christmas I always think of what it means for a woman to be pregnant in 9 months in full winter time without a roof over her head, walking in snow, trying to find somewhere to stay in order to give birth. And always for me, Christmas has been a way of connecting with Virgin Mary, and always has been a way in which I try somehow in different ways to reach out to people that are in similar situations. And it always has been an icon for me in my hardship times, as I every time when I had encountered difficult times, injustice in life, I always turn to that icon of Christmas, and I always think of her, of Virgin Mary, in 9 months pregnant, in full winter, struggling with snow, to find a place where to give birth. And every time when I do that, all my struggles and all the injustices done to me somehow pale, and somehow I feel like, um, okay, whatever happens to me right now cannot compare to that, cannot compare to that image, as much as they cannot compare to the image of a woman standing next to her son, which is being crucified. So for me, Christmas is a lot about Virgin Mary and a lot about compassion in these terms, about people in need, homeless people, um, who we shouldn't judge because any one of them can be in different ways a Virgin Mary, being a male or a female. And you'd never know what circumstances brought them in a homeless situation, and who are they in fact, and what injustice was done to them in order to be in those circumstances. So for this reason, I choose that my video for Christmas will focus on women. Of course, as I said before, Jesus is one of my guides. He's my guardian in the spiritual realm, and of course, he's very special to me. But somehow, Christmas night for me, it's about women, and it comes from a Virgin Mary's experience. And if it comes about women, then what I want to say, also as a continuation of the previous video, is that as women, we should assume responsibility of our role in so many ways. I will choose only one way to refer to today, and namely, that is, we should assume responsibility of choosing your man. This is extremely important. As women, we come with gifts. The man you choose gets access to your gifts and rights. You have special rights given by God, special rights associated to your marriage. Those are different from the individual rights that you have as a woman, as an individual. You have special rights coming with your marriage, union rights, okay? And those are given by God to you. The man you choose has access to those rights, okay? Unfortunately, this somehow became sort of like a machinery of money making in 3D, where women get to be claimed without their knowledge or acceptance, against their will many times, and rights, their union rights get to be sold. This is the stealing of the wedding vows in different ways. There are many gypsy witchcrafts which talk about this, how you steal somebody's wedding rights. But regardless of that, this is the negative connotation that individuals have given. But what God gave were union rights so the couple would thrive. And God has specifically told me that He only gave these union rights to the woman in order so the man will cherish her more, will fully understand the value, the worth of the woman he chose. And he only imagined that this would be one way for the man to strive to become a better man to match that woman's rights and gifts, but not in order for him to get to sell those rights. Okay, that's a totally different story. But this is what God meant. And for this reason, it is important that you choose wisely the man you partner with, or you marry, or you just commit to. Make sure that the man you choose is someone who loves God and who will not betray you or God, okay, by selling your rights to different individuals. One thing that I want to emphasize is that, and I will have later on videos to describe this, but these rights of yours become a weapon in a war which is being led. It is a war for survival of species on Earth and domination and supremacy on Earth. Unfortunately, all the darkness attacks done on Earth through humans are conducted by specific forces. Some of them come from underworld, but the point is that most of them will come from out of cosmos, and these are forces which obviously allure them, tempt them into selling those rights, because that gives them access and opportunity to advance in the domination competition and confrontation and so on. So what I want to emphasize is that it is extremely important you judge carefully who you choose to be next to you. I want to close up this video, an alternative to that, because unfortunately 3D, and I wrote on my Facebook page many articles about this, especially in 2020, I wrote many articles about this topic, because I asked God, I said, well, everyone betrays. So as I'm a woman, what do you want me to choose? Who you want me to choose? I mean, everyone betrays. I look around and everyone betrays. What to do? And God chose me that essentially this has been a process which spiraled out of control. And at this point in time, basically the Matrix created so many industries of enslavement that for men, it became a burden to assure protection for women union rights. Okay, so they go under attack essentially, as they assume responsibility for you as a woman and assume your rights, and hence it becomes sometimes very difficult for them not only to face temptation, but only at some point even to detect attacks. So it becomes to so the advice God gave in such a circumstance, He said, because of the way this has been spiraling out of control, at this point in time, many men are disempowered. They are overwhelmed by karmic connections, which are depleting them of energy. Hence, they are not able to distinguish between a good woman and one that which is karmic and comes to only feed on him. And so they are not many of them are not in the position to carry on the fight to assure protection for the woman next to them. So the only way out, God said at that point in time, that's 1 year ago, right, is to claim matriarchat as a woman. That means the man has no rights over your rights. This is what matriarchat means. That means you already take away the burden on your man to be responsible for your rights. So he will not be facing the same temptation and the same attacks upon him coming with the rights that you bring into a union, which normally were given by God for as a blessing for both of you. But under darkness attack and 3D experience, it becomes a curse. And it brings down the couple instead of building it up, right? So this is an opportunity. I did so. I claimed matriarchat in 2020. Yeah. So I already have 1 full year and some months since I claimed matriarchat, specifically for this reason. And I wrote many articles on my Facebook page. I will do also videos here in detailing some of the ideas there, in which I explain how is that beneficial for both men and women to claim matriarchat, particularly for this timing when we have to move on into 5D. We have to move out of these bondages which are overwhelming us. We have to start making somehow progress on our ascension path. And claiming matriarchat is one way which God guided as a stepping stone into the future, when hopefully, I mean, of course, the purpose is throughout our lifetime to reestablish the divine will and divine truth, which should be bringing us back into the blessing which God bestowed upon the couple through those rights. But for the time being, those under the darkness attack, they are just essentially a curse. I will stop here. This is my dog. If you hear on the background, he's drinking some water. I was hoping he's gonna be calm until I finish the video, but he's bored. He's bored. He's bored of me doing the astral fighting for so many years. I'm tired as well as he is. He's been very loyal to me, and a very dear soul who's been giving me a lot of healing through his pure love. But to close up, essentially the message I have for Christmas is the responsibility of women in choosing their men, and the responsibility that goes with claiming matriarchat, namely creating the conditions for yourself to move along as a single woman, or the proper condition for a man to enter your life, to stay next to you without having to carry on his own all the burden that comes with attacks attached, created as password encoded, as in so many ways attached to your marriage rights, union rights. So with this, I will conclude by wishing you a Merry, Merry Christmas, much happiness, the ability not only to heal, but to redefine happiness in ways which will help you overcome the current phase of the ascension, and will help you to open up and build into the next phase. Please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel, so we'll make sure that the information and the divine guidance I received throughout my spiritual fighting, which I chose to share here, will reach as many people who need it at this time or in the future. Thank you.